Hello everybody. Hi Joanne and Ann. Welcome. And Cheryl. All my peeps. Hello, hello. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome everyone. My name is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper, and we are going to make a really super fun and easy project this evening. This is a paper bag card. And it's just what you're thinking. It's made out of a paper bag. All right, so we're going to get to that shortly, but while we're waiting for other friends to join us, I just want to do a little bit of announcements to make sure everybody knows everything that's happening with Stampin' Up! In just a few days, on August 3rd, the new mini catalog launches for customers. And most of my customers, oh, hi Renee, oh, how fun. Renee is on the beach watching. Oh boy, you are very, very loyal, I'll tell you, to do that. These will be launching on August 3rd. And what's really awesome about it, this year we are be celebrating a Celebration 2.0. Remember our celebration that we had earlier in the spring? Well, Stampin' Up! Now has a second celebration that when you buy $50 or more from this catalog, for every $50 increment, you can pick a free item out of this book. It's amazing. It has paper, it has stamps, it has embellishments, all kinds of great free stuff to get. So most of my customers should have both of these in their hands. So if you still need a catalog, please let me know. I want you to get one of these books of yumminess. All right, a couple other things. I do have a paper share, and all the new papers, there are actually 9 new papers in the new catalog, and I always do a paper share. And what that is, you will get one 6x6 piece of all the new designs in the paper packs in the new catalog. So with 9 different designs or 9 different packs, that's going to be a total of 108 sheets of designer series paper. And I always give my designer series paper stacks in a handmade box, and I just came up with this one this week. Someone's gotta get it, and that's what I came up with. Yes, I know, Joanne, I'm still working on that for you. Yeah, if you would want to do that, that would be great. Yes, thanks, Joanne. So this is the box that your paper will come in, and then each of your samples for each of the papers. Now, this is not a paper from this. This is just kind of a sample to show you what it looks like. You'll get a 6x6 sheet of every single piece in each paper pack, and it will be put in a plastic bag, and it will be labeled at the top. So that is what your box will look like, just like this. This is one of my new favorite little designs, this pinwheel design, and I have some great Christmas cards next week to show you with that pinwheel design. So that is the paper share. If you're interested in that, I am ordering my first round of paper shares on August 3rd. So I need your order very soon. It's $35. So let me know if you're interested. And last of all, we are so excited to be having our Cards, Carols, and Cupcakes events again. And this is an in-person event, and we're so excited about this. We will be having, in place of our buffets on a Friday evening, we will be having a Christmas card Stamp-A-Stack. And every month we will choose a different suite from the new catalog. So coming in August, on August 27th, we will be featuring Painted Christmas. And on that day, we'll be making 15 cards and envelopes. And they will be here So you can come here in person, or you can choose an online to do it online. There will be online option as well, there you can have the kit sent to you. So either way, let us know. The event fee is $35, and we will need that beforehand because we need to get all our supplies ordered. So let me know. And most people who got my catalog should have this paper within their envelope with everything else. And we will be putting a Facebook event soon at the beginning of August for this first one on the 27th of August. So watch for that. And I will be serving my cupcakes there. So don't worry. There were some friends that were concerned about that. So, all right. Well, let's get into our project for today. Again, we're going to be making this cute little paper bag card. And don't forget, you can always go to my blog afterwards and get the nice PDF that has all the directions and all the dimensions so that you can have that to download and have it in your files so you can make a paper bag card whenever you like. But this is a real easy design, and you're gonna really love this one. All right, let's take a look at the one I made for today, and I'll talk a little bit about the product I used. You can probably guess the product I used, but what's so cool about these cards is you can pull anything out of your stash and you can make a paper bag card. What I did here is I pulled out my little medium daisy punch. This is something I've had in my stash for quite a while. And of course, my little 1/4 inch circle punch to make the daisy center. And then I also used my pierced blooms dies for the leaves on here. And all the leaves are cut and using mossy meadow. I like the darker green on these. So that's what I used for just the leaves. The flowers, I used the punch. Okay, for the sentiments, I used Beautiful Friendship and Pansy Patch. So I used birthdays are the best days on the front. So I know many of you have this set, or any other birthday set would work great. And then I put this one on the inside, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. So look through what you have and see if you have any good birthday sentiments. I bet you do. Oh, thank you, Ann and Joanne. I enjoy making them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to start with, surprise, surprise, a lunch bag. Okay, now there are different size lunch bags, I've become aware. This is the regular old standard size. I know now there's like a larger one, a king size lunch bag or something. This is the smaller version, and I'm going to measure it just to let you know. It's 5 inches wide and about 11 inches tall. Okay, so these are the ones that I'm using. Very, very ordinary lunch bag. Okay, I got this idea from a friend of mine, the kitchen table stamper, and she had made it with something, and I just loved the idea. And then I got that buffalo check in my mind, and I couldn't not make it. So this buffalo check, I forgot to tell you that the buffalo check and this pattern here are all from the Pattern Party DSP. You guys know I've been using a lot of that. Really, really love that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start just with a regular lunch bag. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Okay, I'm going to pull out the arm, and I'm going to open. This is how they typically are. I'm going to open this here like that so that we kind of close the bottom back on top of itself. Okay, then I'm going to put it into my trimmer, and I'm going to go right up here to 9 inches. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut. Okay, so that's going to cut the bottom of my bag off. Okay, so what we've created now is like a little lunch bag tube. I don't know what to call it, but it has no bottom. So it's just a lunch bag without a bottom. Okay, now before we start working with it, what I did, and this is really something that you don't have to do, but I just thought it added a little bit. I took the edge die from the peonies. You might have another edge die, or you might have like a scissors that has like a certain kind of a pattern. And I went ahead and I used this on both ends of my bag just to give them a little bit of a scalloped edge. So here is the same bag after I did my little scalloping. So there you can see it. It's not a required thing, but it just makes the edges look a little nicer. Okay, so that's what I did. After I cut the bottom off, then I did a little bit of scalloping as close as I could to the edge for both of these. Okay, now, next thing we're gonna do now is we're gonna fold our bag to make our card. Now, I'm not gonna fold it all the way in half, okay? If you notice my card here, you can see that the front cover is a little shorter than the back cover, okay? And that's just, you could make it that it's all exactly half. You can do it kind of however you want. But I like that little staggered look there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to close my bag and I'm gonna leave maybe about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch here at the end, just like that. Okay, then I'm gonna fold this back to make my little binding. And this is only gonna be about 1/2 inch here. Okay, and this is all really eyeballing, and you'll find that even though they're all in the same package, all the lunch bags are not the same size. So you're gonna have to, you might look at my measurements and they won't work with yours. It might be because your bag's a little bit of a different size because they aren't all exactly the same. All right, so now I have it folded and leaving 3/4 here and then folding back and having 1/2 as my binding. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my tear and tape and I'm gonna put that down here where my binding is, just so that will stay closed. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the backing of that and then I'm gonna close this back. Okay, so now I have the binding there like that. Okay, so there is the first step. Okay, now the next thing I do is I am going to, you'll notice that these pleats on the side of the bag make these openings like huge, okay, because they're lunch bags. So what I've done is I took some Tombow, or you can take snail or whatever you like, and I put a little bit inside each of those pleats. Because we don't need the big pleated sections. We just really need a small opening to slide our panels in. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the back. It just reduces the size of the opening because we don't need a giant opening for what we put in the pockets. Okay. And let me show you. I don't think I even showed you what was in the pockets of this. Okay, in the first pocket here, I put a sentiment here, and then in the front pocket here, I just have a blank panel that you can write a little message on. If you want to do more stamping on there, you could do that. And then in the back, I have a couple of packets of seeds. I went and got some seed packets. These are daisies, and I made a little belly band so you can give the recipient a little pack of flower seeds if they love to garden. That would be a great gift for somebody who loves to garden. Also, you could put another panel in that back pocket and put a gift card on it. There's all kinds of different things you could do. I also thought maybe if you want to make one for a child, you could maybe put a pack of Pokemon cards back there. So all different kinds of ideas for that. But you know, you can kind of make it your own. But that's what I did for this one. I did the panel in the front and the seeds in the back. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I want to look at my directions here so I have the idea for my panels. I'm going to grab my panels here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my two buffalo check panels on. And these are cut at, and this will all be on your PDF, so don't worry about writing anything down. The front piece measures 3 3/4 by 4 7/8, and the inside is 4 by 4 7/8. Okay, so this is one on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and now you can already tell here, this is the wrong one. This is the right one. I thought, oh boy, I cut that one wrong. There we go. So there, the shorter one goes on the front. Okay, now, and you want to be a little bit careful with this right here to make sure that you put glue on the binding so that the paper stays down. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my tear and tape along that binding. And even with that opening and closing, that will stay, the paper will stay put. All right, so I'm going to leave that like that. Then I'm going to go ahead, and if you notice my paper here, I also did some scalloping on the designer series paper as well. Totally an option, but you know, once I start going crazy, there's no coming back. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and take my Tombow, and I'm going to put this paper right down on my front cover. And that piece of tear and tape will assure me that that piece is not going to move up and down once I open and close the bag. There we go. Okay, so there is the front cover. All right, now this larger piece is going to slide in here on the back portion. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, put a little bit of Tombow in here, but you can just think of so many different alternatives to making this. You could actually use the pansy set and put, you know, a pack of pansies in there, or a gift card, you know, to one of the nurseries or something so they can go get flowers or something like that. But that would be loads of fun too. All right, I also put a piece of designer series paper on the back panel here, and I actually used the back side of the buffalo check because I thought it was so pretty and went so well with the whole daisy theme. Okay, so of course I had to do a little bit of scallop on the edge, and that just goes right up against the scallop from the front there. All right, this is starting to look like a paper bag card. So there is our front, all done. All right, now let's go ahead and get started. Let's do the inside first. And what I did for the inside is I took a scalloped rectangle from the Stitched So Sweetly. You guys know how much I love these dies, these Stitched So Sweetly. And this is one of the stitched rectangles from that. I'm going to go ahead and take the sentiment. This is the one from the pansy set. Wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. Can you guys think of any other stamp sets that would be great with this one? What flower sets do you have at home that would work? There's just so many different options with this one. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take this. This would be where you could sign your name. And I'm going to go ahead with my Tombow and put that on the back. And that's going to go right inside. Okay, I lined it up so that it pretty much hides under the front of the card. You just want to be able to see the buffalo check on the edge there. Okay, so there is the inside all done. Okay, now let's go ahead and work on the outside. Okay, this is where we're going to get a chance to put all our flowers and things together. Let me show you what we need here. You're going to need a circle from the layered circle dies, and you're going to need the coordinating scallop. Then you are going to need lots of cutouts of the daisies. Okay, to make one daisy, you need 2 daisy die cuts. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on those first. Okay, let me go ahead and get my glue here. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put a dot. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do my curling first. You guys know I like to do this. I just take my thumb, go around on the daisy petals just so they're curved up a little bit. And I'm going to do that the same to all of them. Just gives them a little more depth. It makes them look a little more 3D. And I've just found that it just looks a little nicer. So we're going to do that with all 6 die cuts. That's good. Yes, Cheryl, the sunflower set would be a great idea. I also thought about like the peaches. That would be one that would work. It's not flowers, but we certainly have beautiful paper that would work. Yeah, that's a great idea. Sunflowers would be really great because it's almost sunflower season. But yeah, and they would go great with this paper as well. That's a really good idea. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put a dot of my Tombow on 3 of the little flowers. Now I'm going to take my pick tool and I'm going to use the little putty end and I'm going to pick up one of the daisies I didn't put any glue on and just set it on top. And remember, you're going to stagger the petals. Oops. Let's try that again. You're going to stagger the petals so you have a flower that looks much fuller. Needs a little bit of turning. There's another. And then we have this one here. Gonna put it in there. So we're then see when you have the 2 of them together, it makes them look a lot. Strawberries, good. Tulips, oh my goodness. All great ideas, ladies. I knew I could count on you guys. All right, let's go ahead and put their centers. And the centers are just a 1/4 inch circle cut out of the Bumblebee cardstock. Love that color. Think it's perfect for daisies. All right, so we have the 3 of them ready to roll. Okay, let's put them over here for now. We're going to go ahead and stamp on our circle here for the front. Now let me grab my sample. We're going to use the Birthdays Are the Best Days from the Beautiful Friendship. Beautiful Friendship. This one has a lot of pretty sentiments there. We're going to use this one. We're going to go ahead and stamp that using the black Memento ink. Try our best to get it in the center. There we go. Then we're going to go ahead and put that right on the black coordinating scallop using my Tombow. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and turn this over and put some dimensionals on the back, and that is going to go straight to the front of our card. Okay, now you're going to want your circle to be a little bit to the right on the front cover, and I'll tell you why. I learned a lesson. Okay, I have it right against the front edge of the card. Okay, let me show you why. You want to make sure that your flowers aren't too close to this edge of your card, or they're going to get bent every time you open your card. Okay, so you want to kind of think about where the inside edge of that binding is and keep everything to the right of that, just because it'll get all bent and yucky that way. So that's why I don't have much here along the edge, and everything kind of starts on the inside edge of the binding, because people are going to be opening, and you want the flowers to stay looking nice. Okay, so now we're ready to place our flowers. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that with dimensionals as well. I'm going to go ahead and use the edges here. We don't need a big piece. And you guys know that if you have dimensionals, you want to use every single piece of them. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this little dimensional here, put it on the back of my daisy. And this one is going to go right down here. Okay, now remember, it's okay if it goes off the edge here because we have the back that's a little longer. Okay, so that might go a little bit off, but that's all right. All right, now let's put our second one on. And these next two are going to go up and to the left-hand side, trying to keep them balanced. This one's going to go here. And then the last one is going to go a little bit to the left here. Okay, now remember about this line here. I don't want the flower to go too far over that, or it will get a little scrunched up every time you open. Okay, there are our 3 flowers. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of the greenery from the pierced petals. You guys know how much I love pierced petals. I've talking about this all the time, and I just made a bunch of little greenery using the dies from there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and start kind of decorating, and this one I actually put right in there. And so what I do is I just put a little bit of, and it's really easy to slide them in because all these flowers are on the dimensional. So I just slide it in there a little bit and then I push down. Now I didn't put any glue on the outside one because I like it kind of standing up a little bit. So that's where that one goes. And then I grab the second one of these little vines. I love these. These are my favorites, I think. And that one is going to go right down here. Remember, I'm keeping in mind about the binding, and I don't want any of the leaves to overlap over that binding, or it's going to kind of get bent and not look so nice. So I'm going to make sure when I tuck this that it's not touching that binding. Yep, that's good right there. All right, so we got 2 of those done. Now we're going to put some of these little leaves on the outside of these flowers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take any pair, put a little bit of glue on the bottom, and then kind of just make a V with them. Okay. Then I'm going to turn them over, and it's also already pretty gluey on the back thanks to my fingers. And then I'm going to take them back this way, and we're going to tuck them behind the upper flower here. They're so stuck to my fingers. There we go. All right, so we stuck those behind that upper flower right there. Isn't that cute? And now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here. Okay. Now, let's see if we can make this work. These are going to obviously go off the front cover, but it's okay because they are going to be safe and stay right there within the limits of the back cover, so nothing will happen to them. Now, this is not a card that you can put in a regular envelope, so you can either put it in a small business envelope, like a manila envelope, or this would be a great one to just hand to someone. So I did the same thing. I made the V, glued them together, and now I'm going to slide them back behind. Okay, so there they are. And those are hanging off the front cover, but that's okay because they're still within the limits of that front cover, of that cover. See how easy that is to put together? Hi, Mary. Oh, that's all right. You can always watch the recording. This is a simple one. You'll love this one, Mary. It's really fun. All right, the last thing we need to do on the front is the fantastic ribbon. Does anybody recognize this ribbon from anything? Anybody know where that first originally came from? I loved it then, and I love it still now. So I'm going to take that ribbon, and it is called the Black Glitter Ribbon. And I like this one. I loved making the big giant bow for this one. I thought that just looked wonderful. Yep, it's the Halloween ribbon. You guys know your catalogs. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a glue dot and I'm gonna just put my bow right down on the glue dot. And then I'm going to grab my paper piercer and pick up that glue dot with my paper piercer. And then this is gonna go right there. Isn't that so pretty? I just love the front. Isn't that great ribbon? Thanks, Jean. Yes, so now let's make the two little things that go inside. These are super quick. Okay, now let's make the panel that goes in the front cover. Let me grab my PDF so I get the right sizes for this. Let's see. All right, so this is 3.5 by 5, and then the layer is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm just gonna keep it very simple. If you would want to do some stamping on here, stamp a sentiment, it's up to you. You could also like put a glue dot on the back of a gift card and stick it onto here. That would work. All kinds of things you can do. And now I'm going to go ahead, and that's just going to fit inside the front. Now you'll notice here that it no longer opens as big as a lunch bag. Since I've closed these two pleats, there's a lot less gaping, okay? So you're just gonna have to find one of those openings and put the panel right in there. And it should slide all the way. I'm gonna put it in the front one. I think I like that better. There we go. Okay, come on, Barb, you can do it. There we go. Okay, so that goes in the front of the card right there. And you can even let it hang out a little bit, gives it a little bit of extra color. So that's the front panel. Now, the back panel. I took 2 packs of flower seeds, okay? And then I cut a piece of bumblebee cardstock at 2-inch strip. And then I cut a strip of the buffalo check at 1 3/4. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm hoping this piece is gonna be long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little glue on the back, and we're just gonna create a little belly band to hold our 2 packs of seeds together. Okay, all right, so here goes the belly band. And we're going to just kind of eyeball it and fold it around to the back. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off like that. Fold the other half back, just like that. Nothing too fancy. Cut that off. And then I'm going to go ahead. Let me cut that a little straighter. Better. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and let's take a piece of tear and tape to close our belly band in the back. But that's how easy it would be. I just went on Amazon and bought like a bunch of the seed packets. I was looking for them at Walmart and was having a tough time finding a whole lot at this time of the year. So I went on Amazon, where you can find anything at any time of year. And there they were. And see, then I'm just going to take and close my belly band like that. Okay, so there's my belly band for the seeds. Final step, I'm going to make 1 more of these cute little daisies. I punched out 2 of them in the basic white card. And now I'm curling a little bit here along the edges, although it's probably not as necessary since this is going to go inside the pocket. But you know, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and make my nice full daisy. Then I'm going to put my little center on. Remember, this was a 1/4 inch punch, circle punch. And with my pick tool and my putty end, I'm going to put it right on there. All right, here we go. This is the big finale. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on top of the belly band with a couple of glue dots. Okay, so I'm going to find some glue dots on here. There's 1, 2. But these would be super cute with any kind of seeds. All right, so there is my little seed packet, and that goes in the back pocket of the card. Put that inside just like that. And there we have it. There is our card. Isn't that so cute? Let me show you one other that I made. Let me get this ink out of here before I make a mess. This one is another one that I made. Can anybody guess which dies I used for this one? It might happen to be my favorite flower dies, but it's the same basic design. I used paper from the In Color set here, and I used my flower dies, but I used the same design here. The paper is the So Succulent from the new In Colors. And then here I decided I would use a little bit of the Crumb Cake Baker's Twine, which is something new, have all the neutrals in Baker's Twine, which is super cool. So this is just another one just to give you another idea of what you can use. So go in, check your stash, and have some fun making a paper bag card. All right, remember that you can get the PDF. I will be uploading a blog post in a few minutes, and you can get the PDF right from there. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the project this evening and you'll give it a try. And next week, I'm super excited. I'm going to be giving you a little taste of Christmas. We are going to be making these cute little pinwheel Christmas cards. Okay, this one here. And then this one is the same, except I used the side fold. So I'm going to go through these, show you how to make these cute little pinwheels. And then I will also include a kit that you can purchase next week if you'd like to try these yourself. Yeah, the pinwheels are one of my favorite new things as well, Joanne. So stay tuned. Next Tuesday, I will show you how to make these cute little pinwheels, and then you can order a kit if you'd like to try it yourself. Alrighty, take care, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week, and keep on stamping. Bye now.